So you want to find the right sounds. This is what I would recommend. Just go into the browser of Splice, just type synthwave, click on drums, click on kicks. A lot of these kicks are perfect. As we know, what gives Cyberpunk its classic sound is the 80s sensibility. And then same thing for the snares. They have like a very sort of long tail and punchy start. When you bring it in, slightly offset it a little bit. And the only mixing we're doing, we're just taking a little bit of the low end out so it doesn't fight. We did the same thing with the claps, just finding claps that have the tag synthwave on it. Now it was a really long clap, but I shaped it like this to be what I like. All together now. And make sure your tempo is 100 BPM. Cyberpunk tracks are between 90 and 110 on average, and that's the sweet spot, 100. And to keep things organized, let's group them all together into what we call drums, so we can easily fold them. Now for the bass, we want to make a pluck. So I took the default sound and just dragged it down 2 octaves so it's in a low register. And we wanted to create this type of shape, which is really easy. I'll show you how you do it. You just go like this and just bring it down there, and you kind of go like that until you get that shape, basically the same shape. So that's how I got that shape. We want to make sure the mono and legato is on, and then a little bit of porto. Adding some drive and some resonance, and bringing the cutoff all the way down and then dragging it over here. Can give us that sound. The drive really helps. See, without the drive, the resonance helps too, but with the drive, it gives it a little bit of distortion. And then what we could also do to make it fatter, gives it a little bit more oomph. And then the final thing I would do, put on distortion, just a little bit, just 10% of the sine fold. And we got a little bit more of that distorted sound. But then we'll go into Ableton. In your drive and color, find the pedal. On distort, maybe boost the mids and the treble a little bit. Now we're cooking. We're using groups too for this. And just on that group, I have a side chain that is compressing the kick. So all together now we have the pattern is pretty simple. Lots of 16th notes. And we want to use minor scales. So a minor scale, and we're on A. The reason why we're on A, because all the white keys are minor. So we can choose anything on the white keys. That's an easy scale to start with if you don't know anything. A minor is all the white keys. And there's a little addition. We're just going to add this one A sharp here. Adding that little half step above makes it really dark. All the white keys except for this one black key. This should be easy enough to remember. And lots of 16th notes and a little bit of 8th notes to create a groove. And you just play around until you find something groovy. And make sure you got that side chained. And that is your basic cyberpunk groove. Now copy it and paste it so we have 16 bars. It gets pretty boring. So this is what we're going to do. We are going to make some cuts and then add fills. Okay, so now we had some spaces, and all I did, I just wanted quarter notes right here and just selected what I wanted and pressed 0. And it just deactivates it, because if I want it back, I can get it back really easily. Now we have space. Let's go in our bass group, since we want all this stuff to be sidechained to the kick. We're going to press Control-T, and we are going to fill in the space. Using Splice, type in sustain, and we'll do one shots, key A. Probably want to do synths. That might be interesting. And then we just go like... For this next sound, I want to do a stab. Let's do A. Something like that. Let's name this fills. And what we could do, press R and reverse it. Let's go back to sustain. We'll grab this one. A lot of creativity. We're using samples, but we're also being creative. We had a lot of bass sounds, so maybe we could try a glitch. Type in glitch. That might be interesting. Maybe make it a little louder. And because this is the end of an 8-bar phrase, we could do something a little special right here. Type in synth wave, because we're going to get some drums. And there should be toms. Are there toms? Look for loops. That's synth wavy. I like it. We'll do this right here. Add a new one. We're just going to name this toms. Bring it in here. Actually, instead of deleting it, we'll just deactivate it. There we go. Now it's actually deactivated. And just copy it over. And this a secret sauce, right at 8 bars, we add in the hi-hats. We can do it again here. We already got us on loops. We got us at the right tempo. We just need to do cymbals. This one's perfect. But let's use this one right here. And right for this first hit, since I have kind of like a downbeat, we are going to deactivate that. Also, we're going to mix these a little bit. Get the EQ, take out the low end, And then let's turn this down a bit. Take that one out there too. And we just need to spice this up a little bit. You want to add more than just cymbals for the second part of your drop. Easy trick, I just duplicated this line here so I can make some changes to it. I added an octave above Sawtooth with a +7 semitone, so it's a little bit of fifth. Mix the level quietly because it gets a little too crazy if I added in full volume. And I expanded this cutoff to go a little bit more. So then we have a slightly different bass sound. That's the first one. So it's slightly different. The next thing I did is I added this sweep effect, and it's really easy to make. Just made some unison, created this shape right here on the LFO. I made this shape with the LFO and then assigned it to the level. I also increased this to 12 and then pressed A. So for the automation, it just slowly goes from 0 to 12. So it's going to have this type of effect. And to give it a ghosty vibe, we added some reverb. And so once we're good with this, this is a cool sound. We could, if we want to mess with it later, we could just duplicate it, deactivate it. But right here, we're gonna freeze track and then flatten. So we could take out these parts right here. And then right here, now we have the basics of a cyberpunk drop. Type in Atmo and then just do A and find some sounds. Something like that can be kind of cool. Oh yeah, that one's great. So what we're going to do now is build out the intro. We are going to take the original line and duplicate it. This is going to be the intro bass. What you want to do your intro bass, let's take off the pedal. And let's also bring this down a little bit. I just brought that up a bit, and I'm going to bring this up a bit. And we have a sync right here. You just get the sync right there. Just so it's a little bit different. But we're also going to go into the audio effects, EQ. We're going to take out the low end. And we want to get the limiter and bring it down until you start seeing some action right here. Next, utility. Get a utility right before the limiter. Switch it to mono. And we are going to want a little bit of reverb on it too. We'll just do some normal reverb. But let's bring this cut up more. Because now we're going to take this auto filter, bring it down. Around 280. And then we'll slowly bring it up. And then right here at the right at the end of the 8 bar, we could go like this. And then this is where we add a kick. But we want a different kick than the kick that we're using. So we're just going to type in kick and find a kick kind of like that. A drill kick. We want a kick that's a little bit more round. Not as hard. So we'll do a kick like that. And we're going to start the build up. Okay. Every quarter note. And then we speed it up. And then we speed it up again. Once we got that, consolidate together, I would actually get a new layer and take out some of the low end on this kick. And bring the limiter, you put a limiter on it. We don't want it as loud and powerful as this kick. And then pitch and modulation, get a shifter, go to frequency, press A right here, bring it up. And then right here, we want to get rid of this stuff. And that's where our fill is going to go. And then we can have a cool little vocal right here.
My logic is undeniable. You are just a machine.
Part sounding cool, we just go like this.
You are just a machine. Just a machine.
The great thing about this genre is you could reuse your intro as your breakdown and then just build the track from there. I feel like this is a pretty good starting spot for all aspiring cyberpunk and mid-tempo producers. It's really that easy. For those interested, I have more in-depth track constructions from scratch on my Patreon for only $10 a month. So if you'd like some more exclusive content, be sure to find me on Patreon. If not, you could stay here on YouTube for free content. I'll be uploading videos weekly. And please, if you do enjoy the video, give it a like and subscribe. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Have a good one.